Hey, let's talk about baseball. It's still very late Friday night on the East Coast of the United States, and I mean, I haven't seen this much winning out of the MLB algorithm in a long time. I know it's early in the year, but still unbelievable stuff. Even Cincinnati comes back in the ninth to only lose this game by one. If you had Cincinnati plus 1.5, somehow they covered, and that was actually a win because they were such a big underdog. Houston and LA is going on right now, the Angels and Houston. It's tied at 2, and boy, would you want to root for Houston. They dropped to only the third best pick of the day after the lineups were updated and announced. But unbelievable stuff. And also, while this was winning on its own, I started working on all these things like venues and wind and temperature. I'm not doing anything with temperature yet, but it's there. I'm not doing anything with rain percent chance, but it's there. But venue I am, wind I am, and it's doing some pretty interesting stuff because it creates this projected score. So, for example, the Yankees ended up beating Boston in extra innings, and the original raw projected score of that game was 4-3, the Yankees over Boston, but the game that's in the Yankee Stadium, with the wind blowing out at 10 miles an hour, that creates this score. For example, if the wind was blowing in, you actually put this as say it was negative 10 miles an hour. Then this would have been the score of that game. Look at that change. But that's not what it was. According to RotoWire, it was this, and that gets the score almost exactly. This right here is some pretty cool stuff because not only did these games win anyway, this is what the original projected scores was. That's what this win-loss is related to. You know, if for some reason the score, if we thought that look who's playing here, right? This is Boston, the Yankees. If we thought that Boston was going to win this game 6-4, okay, then everything changes. Like it's all based off the raw projections. So these are all winners. Everything basically won down the line. Cincinnati loses by 1, so cover is plus 1.5, and you have 2 games left. San Diego and Arizona, a game this is scoreless right now. All right, here we are. It's not 8:34 p.m. It's actually 11:20 p.m. right now. So let's just do this. All right. So that we aren't confusing anyone anymore. Now, it's not PM, but whatever. It's not AM. The point is that it's interesting how accurate stuff was and how moving these variables, which I didn't used to think were all that important, but everyone kept telling me they were, and are actually important. And so we're not even close to done to getting this correct. You know why? The next thing that has to be done is we have to actually physically talk or look, or this actually sounds like a very fun thing of going to these stadiums and seeing for myself. I think that'd be a fun way to handle it. I have been to some of them. I've been here. Okay, what's the places I've been to? I've been there. I haven't been to Camden Yards. I can't believe that. I've been to Fenway. I have not been to there. I've been to the White Sox. It's not Comiskey, right? It's something else, but I've been there. I've been to the Rockies. I've been to I don't think I ever went to a Royals game, even though I've actually seen the parking lot at that stadium multiple times. I haven't been to Angels. I haven't been to wow. I've been to the Marlins. I think. Have been. No, San Diego I'm pretty sure I've been to. Seattle back when it was an old dome. I don't know, a long time ago if it's still there. No. Yes, St. Louis a bunch of times. And Washington, of course, a bunch of times. So, anyway, point is sorry, there's a number that's related to all of those stadiums and how scoring is. For example, I put this Miami here because I remember how it's a big stadium and people don't score as much, or indoor dome or whatever. Tampa Bay had a low scoring game. This is a dome, right? So we have to talk about what we're going to do, with dome numbers. All right. I feel like they should be lower based on what I'm seeing. I don't know if that's the case. Let's put this down to 0.9 because that will change when we do that. That'll actually change what happened in this Tampa Bay game right here. This score now drops actually, right? Because whatever the dome is, which it's knowing what Tampa Bay's dome is, let's drop this down to a 0.5, for example, to really highlight what happened. Now all of a sudden this game goes to 3-1. Look at this. Look at this insanity, right? I mean, how are you getting exact scores? I mean, unbelievable, right? What the hell? That's insane. Now, what about the other dome game? There's another dome game. It's the Toronto one. So this one, you can't lower it. I didn't lower it that much. But that's because I'm saying Toronto's dome plays a little bit better. Didn't Bo Jackson play in Toronto's dome? I feel like I remember seeing Bo Jackson. Now he played for Kansas City, but maybe he played for Toronto too. Toronto's dome only make it more, right? 1.2 for some reason. Then this game here all of a sudden starts to get crazier, like it was 10-8. It gets crazier. Unbelievable stuff going on in the MLB algorithm. Unbelievable, right? I mean, it's one thing that you can play around with all these variables. It's another thing to have them basically predict the scores of the games off of the raw projection anyway. Unbelievable. For example, Colorado right to left wind here. Now, I was looking into this game. This is really interesting to me as well because the Dodgers were a huge pick. And as I was browsing, I said, all right, I've been to the stadium. I've also heard the stories about a fly ball just goes out of there some days when the temperature's right. Well, it's not that hot. Okay, not that hot. It said the wind was only 4 miles an hour. It's right to left. This kind of feels in-ish to me sometimes. And I'm tempted to, instead of not knowing, just let's call it in instead of right to left. That brings the score down closer. And if you increase that wind, make it -4. -4. Yeah, that's a -4 wind. Now, still only makes it 8 to do. What about like -20? Yeah, you can bring this thing down. It's really, really interesting, right? You're just saying like how much did it affect it, and even though it was right about, we're going to call it the -4. That's what I'm going to say. So that's what I heard after looking at the weather, and I think this is more like it, right? Crazy, crazy good. And you can change this as the game is going on. Fascinating, right? So, I mean, all right, so the question is, all right, well, you got a Houston Angel game going on right now where it's a big pick for Houston. And this is why I did this video right now, is I was like, wow, this thing is going so well. Well, why does this work, and should it be accurate for this game? Well, the lineup factor is only slightly favoring Houston. Now, let me tell you, Houston changed their expected lineup to a confirmed lineup late, and it dropped. The version that we had earlier today that I sent out had better lineup factor for Houston. I remember when the change happened, when they announced. So that hurts us a little. So that's not good. But is Reed Detmers out of the game? Oh yeah, that's why I did this video. Sorry, they brought in another pitcher. And what you can actually do to change scores and to simulate as the game is going, almost like a live format, right? Is you have a game where Houston was going to be doing well because this Reed Detmers guy had a bad ERA. Well, now the Angels are bringing in somebody else. Who did they bring in? I'm looking at right now. By the way, the Astros just took a 3-2 lead. Nice. The Angels brought in... good question. I have to go to the box score. But it's important that we get the name because I'm going to show you how to change it and how it's going to affect everything. It's not going to work directly in the Google Sheet. You're going to need the Excel file, and that's the point. So here's Reed Detmers right here. We have a 3-2 lead. So now we're in the Excel file that you could pay for, and you pay the $150, you get this, and you get the emails from me all through the month of April every day with an updated file. Now, I'm looking at Angels on my phone, not on the computer, if it will let me. And I'm looking at who's pitching, and it's Ortega. Okay, Ortega. Now, which Ortega is it? Well, we can go to our pitchers list, and he will probably be in here. Ortega. Oliver Ortega, because it's O Ortega. Yep, perfect. Oliver Ortega is apparently who's in the game right now. Well, how do we get him in the game right now? We're going to go to odds. We're going to put him in the odds sheet, right, where Reed Dietmers was. Okay. We also need to change this in another place. We need to change it in the lineup sheet under the pitcher for the Angels in the pivot table. And what's kind of interesting about doing it this way is kind of funky, but it will be okay because you'll always be able to fix it, sort of. So what I'm doing is you have to change Reed Detmer's names to Oliver Ortega. And I'm actually going to undo this after I do it because I hate screwing with the pivot table, but you can actually do this to do a little simulation. So you've got Oliver Ortega's name, right? And you need to just grab the text of his name. And when you go into the lineup sheet here and you paste it over, it's going to automatically change the name of the pitcher right here. And I think that's going to work. Yep, it did. And that guy's only pitched 9 innings. Really limited stats, but what did it do to the score? And what did it do to the margin? It screwed up the pick rank because the ZR. Look at that. All of a sudden, it's a much closer game. Look at that. That's so worthy. I want to paste it in the thing now. So watch what happens. Copy that. That is cool. I haven't actually done that in a long time. So we're going to take that and we're going to throw that right here, correct? Let's see if anybody notices that we changed everything. I should put a comment in there. Look at that. And all of a sudden, I'm going to highlight it so that everybody knows I'm not trying to screw with it. I didn't want to explain. I mean, be like, hey, look at the video. Look at what we did. I just changed picture. How do I add a comment in here? Can I do a comment somehow? Comment. Changed. Oh, picture change. 5th inning, I think. All right, so but you'll understand that this now, I like saving that in the Google Sheet that way. Now all of a sudden, oh my God, everything changed. Is that correct? Oh, now what's interesting is you're going to have duplicate pick rank numbers this way. Yeah, see, the 11th pick was Seattle. Now the 11th pick is Houston, but it's correct here. That's the point, is that this is accurate. So I only need to paste the whole thing, actually. Sorry. Yeah, but I'll do that later. I won't waste even more of your time. But boy, is that interesting, right? So now it's a much closer game, but hopefully Houston comes out on top. All right? Fascinating stuff. So I can't ask for a better day than this. I actually am scared to have won. If Cincinnati won and we had a perfect day, I'm like, well, guess what? I have to stop doing this now. Be like, we just went 13-0. You can't do better than that. What? Go 14-0, 15-0, and then what do you do? Freaking, you just quit. You just go out on top. Just drop the mic. You walk away. I don't know what to do after that, but this is an amazing day, and this is the first time I've ever tried this in the history of doing this, and it will be fun to take input and go visit these stadiums, first of all, and see for yourself and make a rating here, as well as figure out how we're going to classify left to right and swirl wins. And oh my God, insane. So this is pretty cool. And good luck, everybody. May all your picks have won throughout the day. I'm waiting. If Houston wins, I win my 7-team round robin, because I think they're calling the Mets game, which had like pitches being thrown at people's heads and bench clearing, and it's going into the 9th and it's raining. I could go over to the stadium. I could probably get there and they'll probably let me in at this point, right? It's the 9th inning. Nobody's there. Everyone's just sneaking out. They're like you're allowed to go. You think they're going to play this 9th inning? I don't know. We'll see what they do there. All right, guys. Good luck. We'll be back at some other point. Anyway, thanks for winning.